She-Hulk, I told you this story, and it's true. She-Hulk hit every metric to get a season 2. And the only reason it didn't was because of the fan backlash. And maybe Tatiana Maslany calling out the fucking CEO of the company, too.
You know what's getting the season 2 and didn't hit any of the metrics?
What? Daredevil. Yes. Dude, they greenlit it and put it into production before they even premiered.
Yes.
Daredevil season 1. Yep. They were feeling really fucking good about this.
I tell you what, these episodes from the new writing team and showrunner better be fucking golden. Oh boy, I'll bring up the article from Variety.
I saw a tweet for this and I sent it to Friggy and I was like, what is your first thought? Now the tweet said, #Daredevil Born Again has debuted with 7.5 million views in its first 5 days on Disney Plus with its 2-episode premiere, making it the biggest streaming debut on the platform this year. And
it's the only streaming debut.
I said that to him, and I was like, "What do you notice first?" He was like, "Why did they say this year?"
Yeah. Because if they went last year, it'd be fucked.
Yep.
Yeah. Jeez. It premiered. The year was 2 months old when it premiered,
making it the biggest premiere in March on Disney Plus. Like, it's called Daredevil.
How long will this not say the biggest premiere of yesterday?
It reminds me when my oldest son came home with his friend from kindergarten one day, and he sat down and he sits down to Melissa. He goes, "Mom, this was the worst day of my life." And she was about to correct him, and then she went, "Well, wait a minute. He's only 5. It might have been the worst day of his life. It might have actually been the worst day of his life."
After the fucking Captain Falcon bullshit, I am actually getting really triggered by these stupid tweets that are like desperate to find whatever the biggest accolade is when they know. I know they know by making that the biggest accolades that they're like, yeah, this is doing shit.
Yep.
And the thing is, you'll see people replying to it like, "Oh, that's bitching. Yes, like amazing." You're just like, guys, can't you read? Like, why do you think they've said?
Wait a minute. Harry Potter star joins OnlyFans. What the hell? I'm sorry. I'm looking to the right. Lavender Brown is on OnlyFans. Holy shit.
Sensual hair videos.
Sorry.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh no. Back to Daredevil.
Back to Daredevil. Let's move on. Daredevil Born Again enjoyed a strong launch on Disney Plus, according to the House of Mouse.
According to Disney.
Who said this though? Who said enjoyed it? This isn't attached to anything.
It says it right there, as it says according to Disney.
No. I will say no. It's according to Disney. The Marvel show drew 7.5 million views.
Okay,
so it's a different paragraph, so it doesn't exist with the first quote.
Variety is saying that.
This is Giovanni's opinion.
This is Giovanni's opinion.
Okay. Giovanni's okay.
Giovanni.
Which, by the way, strong launch doesn't feel very it's like strong launch, huh? Not like an amazing launch, like brilliant. It's like it's strong.
It's not. It's very weak.
It's not even strong, but yeah.
No. According to the House of Mouse, the Marvel television series drew 7.5 million views in its first 5 days of availability on Disney Plus, with a view defined as total stream time divided by runtime. That makes it the biggest streaming debut on the platform this year. Wait, it's not the only one, because Skeleton Crew.
Did that launch late last year or beginning of this year? I can't remember.
When was the first? Gary, can you just quickly look?
Gary, you look at Skeleton Crew. When did it launch?
December 2nd, 2004.
Okay, so this is the only television series this year on Disney Plus.
Yes.
Well, you know what? If it had beat out Skeleton Crew, it would have all been like, so.
No. Like, this is Daredevil. This is supposed to do a lot better than Agatha, fucking Moon Knight, everything. It's supposed to do better than everything. They had high expectations for this, and it did not meet them, like, at all. They should be a little concerned today.
A little bit. The Acolyte's performance was enough to kill it.
Yes. As time went on, see, it felt like the thing is, it fell off like hard.
Mm-hmm.
It fell off hard. Why Andor got a second season is because its audience grew as time went on.
Yes, but it was still the second.
It was still very low rated. Yeah, extremely.
Yeah. The Acolyte did worse than Andor.
The only reason Andor got a second season was the critical accolades.
Right. You can't have a fucking streaming service that operates off critical fucking acclaim. You need to operate off what shows are bringing in subscriptions. And if they're not bringing in subscriptions, then the show shouldn't even fucking be there. Stop.
There is not a single show that can bring in subscriptions at Disney.
No, there isn't.
Fucking it
They
all
lost
up.
subscriptions. They lost subscriptions. There's going to be this thing churn, and the thing is, with these big streamers, there's a ceiling. There's only so many people on this planet. There's only so many people who are going to be able to afford streaming services. There's only so many people with fucking internet, and you're going to reach the top very soon. If it hasn't happened already. Netflix, which gained a ton of subscribers, just took it in the shorts in the stock market, and they're the king.
Legitimate variety of shows.
Yes, they do. Absolutely. Like, they were there first, and they've made it through their problems, and they have figured out, like, we're just going to spam shit. Like, that's it. We're just going to spam shit. Some of it's going to be good. Most of it's going to be crap. But they're going to stop reporting subscriber growth. They even said that. They're just going to report profitability.
Yeah, they're just hoping for stuff like Stranger Things season 1, Arcane season 1, Squid Game season 1, stuff like that, where it just blows up.
I mean, I'm going to ask a dumb question. We all know the answer, but does Disney Plus have a fucking Squid Game? No.
No.
No, they have nothing.
They have
What's Disney Plus's best show?
Well, so this is the thing. The best they
X-Men
can do
97
is dragging new original shows. You asking us?
Yeah.
Because I was going to say their old catalog is filled with plenty of good shows.
Oh yeah, sure.
But there's like, what does that mean ultimately?
No, I'm talking original shows.
Well, as Gary just said, X-Men 97 is probably the best they've got. It's an original show.
Mm-hmm. Which is a carryover from a 90s series. So what does best on Disney Plus is movies that have done well in the theaters do well on Disney Plus.
Oh, and of course, yeah, I think Andor's a good show as well, but it's not one that's going to get them subs.
No, that is the most hardcore of hardcore Star Wars fans still hanging on, who somewhat still give a shit about Star Wars.
Holding out hope.
Holding out hope.
Got two hopes, Bob Hope and No Hope. That's what it's got. So yes, it's the biggest streaming debut because it's the only fucking show that has debuted this year. Disney does not regularly release viewership information about its streaming shows. So exact comparison,
except when they do.
Yeah,
I mean, all the fucking time.
We have the information to make an exact comparison this time.
Yes, we actually have it. But they rarely do, except when they do. And again, it's their own internal numbers that, like, who fucking knows, to be honest.
But for some context, it was previously reported that the Sterling K. Brown drama Paradise drew 7 million across its first 9 days of streaming on Hulu and Disney Plus earlier this year. The singular episode. Oh, good. Fuck my ass. The singular episode of Agatha All Along hit 9.3 million in its first week. This had 2 fucking episodes.
Christ, dude.
Oof.
Oof. That hurts. I don't even like the show, and that hurts.
I was just thinking there must have been 2 episodes of Agatha. No, there's only 1. Fuck. 1 episode, it's got 2 days on it, 9.3 million. Sorry, 1 episode's got 2 days on it, 9.3 million. 2 episodes, 2 days less, 7.5. That is fucking hell. Ouch. Now should we bring in some other context then?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go, folks. Batten down the hatches because this is going to fucking blow your socks off. The Acolyte reaches 11.1 million views in its first 5 days.
First 5 days.
And
3 million below Ahsoka.
Before anyone wonders, both shows launched with 2 episodes.
Yes. Yep. So this is a direct comparison to Daredevil.
Direct comparison.
So 7.5 versus 11.1 versus 14 million. So it did nearly, give or take, but it did half the number of Ahsoka and 4 million less nearly than the fucking Acolyte that was cancelled immediately after the last episode aired.
I know, dude.
Now, actually, there's a really good point in chat right now. And he said probably one of the reasons is they've chased away men from the platform.
Yes.
And he's not wrong.
No, you're absolutely right.
At all. They have been chasing away males for a long time.
Daredevil's the most fucking on a masculinity, it's not 10 out of 10. Let me make that clear. But it's the most masculine thing they've ever put in this fucking platform. Period. And Agatha did better because it's a bunch of fucking wine moms. They got what they wanted. They got a bunch of fucking wine moms, and when they want to steer it back into we want to do heroism and bring some masculinity back, I don't think they know how. Let me preface this because there is some nuance to this term, superhero fatigue. And people automatically go, no such thing. No such thing. It's bad movie fatigue. Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. That's what we're experiencing. We are experiencing it right now. It's happening.
I would disagree with you that they're attempting to bring back masculinity with Daredevil because all the characters are being subservient to women right now.
Daredevil was subservient to women just because he complimented.
His girlfriend dominating his fucking relationship. His partner in the law firm is just being
law firm.
They're the ones who are calling the shots. He's not calling those shots. He's being told what to do, and he's doing it.
His name's on the top of the partnership, dude.
It's on the top of the partnership.
And at the end, he tells her, no, we're not going to do something this way, and she doesn't do it. So, although they have to compliment her first. So I would argue that. But
Vanessa's running the Empire.
But Kirsten McDuffie's a fucking useless character that I don't like. And I don't like her from the comics. And she's about as stupid in the show as she is in the comics. His girlfriend, well, I mean, I don't want to spoil anything for you.
Well, whether or not she dies miserably doesn't change.
God, I hope so. I hope so. She actually commits suicide in the comics. So
if she died miserably or killed herself in the next episode, I wouldn't give a fuck. In actual fact, I'd probably be quite happy that she's out already.
Comparatively to fucking Moon Knight or WandaVision or Agatha, it is definitely more masculine than those fucking shows.
What are you talking about? Moonlight was great. His ex-missus went halfway around the world to try and find where he was when he went through his multiple personalities so she could serve him his fucking divorce papers.
And you like the first episode.
I like the first
I thought we all thought it was okay, right?
I like the first episode of Moonlight, and then my God, did it fall off a fucking cliff?
It was potential.
I'm looking for you. Great. Now,
and that show had great potential. That is my biggest disappointment. It's not Moonlight. It's Moon Knight.
Did I say Moonlight?
They said Moonlight.
Moonlighting. I'm thinking Moonlighting, Sybil Shepherd, Bruce Willis.
Hey, we got a good 1/6 scale out of it, though. We did. Okay, outside of our sphere, back to this. Outside of our sphere, Daredevil's, for people who've watched it, pretty well received. It's definitely divided in our sphere. But if you go to all the metrics, pretty well received, and nobody's watching it.
I'm not trying to play devil's advocate with you, Gary, but when you're getting down to the numbers that it's clearly got, the people who just don't give a shit no more moving on. So
yeah, well, of course. So let me get to my point. That's where the fatigue comes in. It's people just don't give a shit anymore.
When you say it's well received, what do you mean?
If you go to IMDb, if you go to any of the ratings places, it's pretty well received. Pretty high audience scores.
I would imagine the first
outside of our world, the trailers aren't getting ratioed. I mean, these are all the things we look at before at other places. So I would say it's well received over other stuff, especially over the Acolyte. But it didn't perform as well. So the point being is, in the normie sphere, whatever's left of it, they're fine with it. But most people who would normally be tuned into Daredevil probably didn't even bother. Probably didn't even care.
I probably wouldn't compare it to the Acolyte. I'd be curious to know what the reviews on IMDb looked like for the first few episodes of, let's say, Moon Knight. I'd imagine those were pretty positive as well.
They were. No, a lot of the early fucking WandaVision was off the charts.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the first.
Loki was absolutely off the charts, and that's why it got a season 2.
Well, I think season 2 was relatively well received by a lot of people. Obviously, critically in review format, but like,
it was. In our sphere, it was not.
No, of course not. How could it be? It was a fucking disaster. But
that's the whole point is the fatigue, though. It's the same argument for the hoops you have to jump through, admittedly, for the Marvels and even Captain America, which are both, I think, still stuck on the same percentage. I think a lot of those people did see the movie and wanted to go through those hoops and liked it, and they're just going to like everything. That's normies. That's what's going to happen. But that built-in audience that they need to rely on has been completely lost at this point, and they should be very worried. They should be very worried at the results of this. And now I think it's going to affect Thunderbolts. I would start questioning Fantastic Four. I would start questioning Avengers. I would start questioning everything.
So, question for you both: do you think the quality of this show has anything to do with its reception?
Certainly. If people don't like it, I mean, like, that would probably argue quality from the people who've watched it.
Well, you said it was well received outside of our circles, right?
Yes.
I've not even heard any chatter about the show.
Well, I've gone to like the Metacritic and stuff like that. So where they have audience scores, and it's pretty well received. Whatever you make with that of what you want, but it's not like Acolyte, which wasn't well received. Acolyte was trashed from the first minute by everybody. By absolutely everybody. Loki? Yeah. No,
I'm not sure about that.
No, Loki's got good audience scores.
It was trashed by us, but like a lot of people outside of it loved Loki.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's why I got a season 2. It did well. With everything we've talked about, I was about to say I have a concern, but ultimately I kind of am happy if this happens because I don't particularly. The only thing I'll miss out if this show doesn't continue is watching 2 actors I love play 2 characters I love, and that's going to be a shame. But broadly speaking, like, I don't want it to continue. And the reason why I bring this up is because if we've got a week's waiting for another episode that's going to be similar in quality and approach to the first 2, and then another week and the same thing, and then another week and then the 2, I feel like the audience will fucking crash. Yeah.
I think that's a foregone conclusion at this point.
Season 2, even if they right the ship, I don't know if it's going to be a little too late by then, and then the show will get canceled, and that'll be the story. And you know, that to me,
I think you just predicted the fate of the show, unless it gets really fucking good at the end, and that word of mouth gets out there, and it does an Andor, basically. That's I think they expected a lot more. We can't undersell that this got beat out by 4 million views by the Acolyte.
Yeah, it's not a small amount.
That's not a small amount.
It's not. It's a huge amount. Again, to Ahsoka, which was terrible show. Half of Ahsoka's number. I tell you what, guys, you probably agree, but don't you think that July is shaping up to be the most fucking interesting month in a long time?
It's going to be an intense media month. Yep.
It'll be very interesting.
It's like an election, but for media.
Yes, it is, though, isn't it? It's like election time for DC, Marvel.
Well, it's for Hollywood, bro. So Jurassic Park is probably going to beat both fucking Superman and Fantastic Four. I'll stand by that. Be based on international numbers. I don't know if it'll be as profitable, but it will beat it in box office gross. I think there's a good chance. Fantastic Four is a tough sell to the normies completely. And the hardcore comic book fans that you used to rely on, this is my whole point for before, aren't going to give a shit. They don't like Pedro, female Silver Surfer. You know, it's just like Disney Marvel doesn't want to commit and do the things they need to do to turn things around. They kind of want to half-ass it. And that's not going to work. And I think that is clear with the results of Daredevil. And I'm shilling for Disney, chat. Fucking, I just said Marvel's fucked, but I'm shilling for Disney. Okay. And yeah, they're
don't worry, they're worried that the echo chamber's cracking, and they're concerned. Okay.
I mean, you either get one or the other. You hate everything, or you shill.
You're a shill.
That's so funny.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.
Bye.